Hello, so I have been watching many Netflix series since July, and yesterday I finished watching a show called Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. I mainly wanted to see it because I have seen the 80s cartoon, and I just wanted to see both shows so I can compare, because they're both completely different shows, but hey, it's Pac-Man, so why not? What the hell was this show even? So the premise of this show is Pac-Man, who is a teenager in this show, is like the chosen one to save like all the world after he unleashes Ghost from a maze, and the maze is called 256, which is a reference to the infamous kill screen of Pac-Man. And of course, like the leader of this ghost is Betrayus. And Betrayus happens to be the brother of the current president of Pacopolis, I don't remember. And Pac-Man is helped by two people, Spiral and Cylindria. They also have like an old inventor guy named Cersei, there's Grinder, then they get a pet named Fuzzbix. And yeah, the show is basically their adventures of trying to stop the ghost from taking over the world and trying to find the repository which holds their bodies and the Tree of Life which gives Pac-Man power. And so, I don't know where to begin, but the show was really weird at times. Like, I really don't understand. There was a lot of toilet humor on the show, and it just kind of like really. It was really stupid at points. Like, in every episode, like a character farts, and it's like, really, like, you want to see like this video game icon like farting a lot? Like, imagine a Mickey Mouse cartoon where they fart. I mean, SpongeBob is not even this bad when it comes to this kind of humor. But yeah, that show was really weird. And I guess I should say that, like, I went into the show absolutely knowing nothing about it other than, like, my brother and my mom actually marathoned this show, so I've seen a few clips, and I've seen, like, the E3 trailer, like, on YouTube, like, way back when, back in, like, 2009 or 10 or 11, I don't know when it came out, but I remember seeing, like, an E3 trailer for this show. But this show was really weird. And and we should get to, like, another big thing is that in the show, like, there are the four ghosts, Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde from the original arcade game. They're not enemies of Pac-Man in this show. They are, like, they like, kind of defect to Pac-Man's side, but, like, act as double agents for, like, Pac-Man and the Neverworld ghosts, like, Betrayus and all that. And I just find it really strange how, like, the ghosts from the arcade game were actually friends of Pac-Man in this show. And Pinky has, like, a really huge crush on Pac-Man for some reason. And she always has to rival with Cylindria, or Silly as they call it for short. And so, I might as well talk about the other 80s cartoon. The other cartoon that came out in the 80s. So, it was based on Hanna-Barbera. And that show deals with the four ghosts led by well, not four ghosts. It's Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde, and Sue, who is from Miss Pac-Man, and she's not in Ghostly Adventures because there is no Miss Pac-Man in Ghostly Adventures. So, they basically have to find, like, they want to find the location of the Power Force, which will enable them to take over the world or something. And there's this character named Mesmeron who's, like, their boss, and he's, like, a human boss. I made him the main villain in my Starcader series. So, both shows, like, have to deal with ghosts looking for something certain, which is really interesting. The 80s Pac-Man cartoon used a lot of their own music, whereas Ghostly Adventures actually did use a lot of music from the original arcade game. Like, there were many times where I recognized music from a coffee break from the video game Pac-Mania. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, stuff like that. And so, I guess one advantage Ghostly Adventures has over the 80s cartoon is that the ghosts are more ghostly. Like, they can go through walls and then, like, they can possess, whereas, like, the ghost in the 80s cartoon could just kind of like, they didn't really go through walls. They were just basically like hovering sheets, and that's literally all they were. But like, and of course, like the Ghostly Adventures show, it has like 22-minute episodes, whereas the Pac-Man cartoon just kind of has like 11 minutes with like sister episodes, like SpongeBob. And another big difference is that like in the 80s cartoon, Pac-Man is a grown man with a wife and a kid, whereas Ghostly Adventures, he's a teenager. At least I think. I mean, he kind of talks like this a lot of times. I gotta chop the ghost, damn it. No, he doesn't say damn it, but yeah, but both shows were like really weird, and I wouldn't really call either of them like great, but I don't think they were entirely god awful. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of substance to like either cartoons, but like I don't think they're like both god awful. Like, well, there's some parts of Ghostly Adventures where like I think the toilet humor goes too far, but there were many times where I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? I really feel for these characters. And I guess like the Ghostly Adventures does take itself more seriously than the 80s cartoon, but like I think like they're still like completely different cartoons. So who knows what the next Pac-Man cartoon will be? Who knows? So that's just kind of my review of like the Pac-Man cartoon series review. Maybe in the future I'll be more in depth, but like I just finished Ghostly Adventure, so I just wanted to get my few thoughts based on it. So thank you.